Coming to you live from Darien High School, it's the 2022 CIAC Class L quarterfinals between the top-seeded Darien Blue Wave and the 8th-seeded Greenwich Cardinals. How's it going, everybody? Braden Shank with you, and unfortunately, it's just me with you this afternoon, so no analyst. I'll be kind of double dutying tonight, but Darien and Greenwich still a good matchup here in the Class L bracket. The winner will be advancing to the state semifinals next week and have the winner of Glastonbury and Hull at a neutral site, so should be a good matchup. The 1 and the 8 seed here, Darien, the unblemished record, 17-0 in the regular season, winners of the FCIAC over Staples. As for Greenwich, 13-3, 0-1, and they lost to Staples in the FCIAC corners, but both of these teams taking their first-round matchups by the final score of 7-0. The biggest margins of victory in the first round, Darien taking down the Newtown Nighthawks 7-0, and then as for Greenwich, taking down the Conard Red Wolves 7-0. So two high-powered offenses, and it really starts with the offenses for Greenwich. Their number one senior from Hamsburg, Germany, Clara Muffelman. She'll be looking to find the back of the net. She did so last time the Cardinals were at Darien High School, scored within the first minute against Darien, and that was a match that the Cardinals did end up losing to Darien. And then as for the Blue Wave, they've got their big likes of Raina Johns, Ashley Stockdale, Ryan Hapgood, Blake Wilkes, Kate Bach, and the list goes on. And that doesn't even mention the defense for Darien that has been stellar, only allowing 4 goals on the season, one of which coming against this Greenwich team. Referees doing their final conferencing before this one. And again, both of these teams are hungry for a chance to play in the state semifinals next week. For Darien, they would be looking to advance to their 6th consecutive state semifinal. And for those of you keeping score at home, it would be their 14th in the past 15 seasons for Darien that they have made it to that mark. So remarkable streak that head coach Mo Minikis has gone on with her Wave. And as for Greenwich, they're looking to return to the state semifinals for the first time since 2017, where they ended up losing in the semifinals, a team that has not won a state championship since the 2009 season when they won the Class L tournament. And you can see the Darien team, a rainy day here at Darien High School. A lot of raincoats on the windbreakers, but it's going to be a factor here as the lights have already come on at Darien High School, and it's only 2 o'clock here on the East Coast. But the teams will break huddles and now rally up their respective squads. You are watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you this live coverage of the 2022 Connecticut State Girls Field Hockey Tournament. Darien, they again are looking to avenge their semifinal loss from a season ago where they went to Testa Field in Norwalk, Connecticut and fell to the Wilton Warriors in penalty strokes. It was a heartbreaking loss for Darien in a match that they went 0-0 through double overtime, went to the penalty strokes, and the Warriors got the best of Darien. So they have not made it to the state championship since the 2019 season. They've actually not won a state title since 2016, so a little bit of a drought for Darien that they're looking to change here. And again, they need to get past Greenwich to get to that next step. Both teams breaking their huddles, and we should be underway. Here in a matter of moments, Darien, they will be in their home white jerseys with the blue numbering. And this one in Greenwich in their road reds with the white numbering. As you can feel, both teams are ready for this one. And looking at the goalkeepers, that will be the crucial part in this one for Greenwich. They'll have their junior captain, Kelly Jansen, protecting the pipes. Jansen, her 2nd year starting for the Cardinals. And she'll be looking to advance Greenwich to the next round. And then for Darien, you know the name, Lindsay Darby. She has been stellar for Darien all season. The only time she's given up a first-half goal this season was against Greenwich. 1 of 4 goals, the other 3 coming in the 4th quarter. So again, this Darien defense has been pretty much untouched all season. The rain's only supposed to get heavier as it's already coming down pretty hard. Luckily here at DAF Media, we're under the nice tent at the stadium fields. But it's going to be tough playing conditions for the players out there. Casey Benoit will start Darien off as she sends the aerial ball. We're underway in the state quarterfinals. And Darien in their home white jerseys moving from right to left on your screen. Greenwich in their road reds moving from left to right. Quickly that ball sent out of play, and Cardinals will get the restart with Cementi. Short pass over the middle finds its way to Babb. And over past the stick of Thompson. Ball going to Darien. Again, the rain is going to be a big factor in this one. Those passes are going to be quicker than expected out there on the turf. So it's going to be a matter of who can adjust to it as Darien, the give and go to Benoit, right back to Dagavides. Getting the touch to Massey in the defensive end. Here's Katie Savino, the junior. Intercepted by Thibault. Thibault's tripped up by Massey on it. Whistle will turn it over to Darien. It's a great defense played by the Cornell lacrosse-bound Morgan Massey. Ball over to Massey once again. Dagavides now on the far side. She'll give the short pass to Benoit. Aerial ball finding its way all the way down, looking for Bach. Falling to the ground is Hokeman on it, and now quick restart for Darien. Hapgood. This one on nets and sent past the end line. Restart to Darien on the attacking 25. It'll be Ashley Stockdale. Johns is now going to send this one on net through some traffic. Regained by Stockdale. Being pushed out by a pair of Greenwich defenders, and that's the first penalty corner of the match. A place where the Blue Wave have seen much success this season on the penalty corner. And Casey Benoit will now insert just a couple minutes in to this state quarterfinal. First, she's going to tie the shoe, but she's got Johns, Bach, Stockdale, and Wilkes up top. Greenwich has the four defenders ready. Jansen in net. Insert by Benoit. Up top, stopped by Johns. Reyna, sweep shot on the ground, kick saved by Jansen. Rebound is Stockdale. Stockdale still dribbling with it and off the foot of number 25, Samanti, and give it a second penalty corner for the Wave. Casey Benoit back to insert for Darien. Benoit on the insert. Up top once again. Stopped by Johns past her stick. And now here's Stockdale on the regroup. Good pass to Johns. Johns the shot on net. Stopped by Jansen. Now Muffelman's going to try to clear it out. Two saves for Jansen thus far. And now quick interception and turnover in Darien's favor. Stockdale off the foot again of a Greenwich defender. Darien will get their third try at a penalty corner. So great job by Darien. Stockdale to dribble into that circle, force the penalty corner. And now Casey Benoit back to insert. Greenwich huddling up, getting the game plan, looking to stop a third Darien attempt on this corner. Benoit gets the signal. She'll insert it up top to Johns. Reyna Johns, pass over to Wilkes. The shot by Wilkes, stopped by Jansen. The rebounds. Knocked away by Hokeman. And that was Belager coming over to help. But a good save by Kelly Jansen. Bakken, the circle once again. She'll dribble her way, look to finish it just past the reach of Blake Wilkes. Good attempt and good look from Kate Bach, not able to find the finishing touch of Blake Wilkes. Now Wilkes getting the ball right back. She'll be tripped up by Muffelman. Muffelman on that one, trying to play the defense. And now it's grabbed by Hapgood. Up good to Benoit, looking to go to Stockdale. Gets the pass, sends this one. Stopped again by Jansen. Kelly Jansen making her 4th save early in this one. She had 21 last year in the quarterfinals against New Canaan. So she definitely is accustomed to making the big stops and giving another corner to Darien. Darien has come close on all 4 of their penalty corner attempts. And now Casey Benoit will trot over to insert once again. So far, a majority of this first quarter going in favor of Darien's possession. Not able to get the goal on it just yet. We'll see if they can change that. Here's Benoit. She inserts it up to Stockdale. Stockdale dribbles, shoot, off the deflection, and it's in. Casey Benoit scoring for Darien. A good ball sent on net from Stockdale, and Benoit was there for the deflection to give Darien the 1-0 lead. A great sequence ending with Benoit burying the deflection, and just like that, Darien has themselves a lead with about 9 minutes left in this opening quarter. Role reversal from when these teams met in the regular season. It was Greenwich that got up to the 1-0 lead early on. Darien now getting the early lead as they scored their 126th goal on the season. And a big one from Casey Benoit, the Syracuse-bound lacrosse commit. Again, Darien staying on the offense. Here's Katie Savino on the 35. Intercepted by Muffelman. Muffelman trying to get it over to her defender. Knocked away as that was Donnellan. Donnellan still dribbling with it. Keeping it on the ground, and once again, this Darien defense prevails. Kate Bach on the outside to Benoit. Looking down to Hapgood, just past her stick, will be grabbed by Hokeman. Maddie Hokeman, the senior captain, clears it out. And the referee's going to give it to the Cardinals. So despite the effort from Dagavides, she can't keep it in. So far, good effort from both of these teams, but Greenwich is not able to control the possession time thus far. It's been all Darien. They've taken the shots. Jansen's been forced to make the 4 saves. And now here's the Cardinals right on cue. Muffelman dribbling past Massey. That ball will be tripped up. Massey will watch it roll past the end line. Referee's going to push Greenwich back a bit, but they will keep with the possession just outside the attacking 25. Restart by the Cardinals. Dribbling with it is Thompson, rather. And Casey Benoit with the pickpocket. She'll look to flip the field as she passes it to nobody but Hokeman. Hokeman now, the big swing. That one went up a little too high to the referee's liking off of Klingbeil. And Darien will get the ball right back after the dangerous lift. Katie Savino on the ground, right back to Massey, the senior captain. Now to Dagavides, a place where Darien has really excelled this season, has been the ball control. They have been so outstanding when it comes to controlling that and not giving it up, as a rare error on Casey Benoit right there, as that one striked out of play by Muffelman. Not the best of offensive possessions, and Darien will get the ball at the 20 with Dagavides. Massey on the ground, right to the near side to Savino. Intercepted by Greenwich. That one knocked out by Klingbeil. Greenwich is a team that can get the interceptions, but they have not really been able to get the shots yet today. Hasn't had the possession inside the circle yet, as now they're just outside the attacking 25. Simonetti. Turn the other way. The Cardinals looking to get something going. Benoit playing the tight defense. Passed back. And Johns, the big strike out to the middle third. Past Stockdale. But little collision on it, and the referee is going to call the high stick on number 22, Thibault. Looks like they got wrapped up with each other, and Thibault's stick went a little too high on Raina Johns. And the possession goes to Darien. Pass out to the midfield to Stockdale. And off the shin of Thompson. You would think it's good defense by Thompson. Unfortunately, he can't hit the foot. And now Muffelman will look to flip the field with the Cardinals. Good strike by her. And again, to no avail. Wave going right back on the possession. Massey almost dodging chaos. Now Dagavides right back over to Benoit. Good crowd of faithfuls making the trip out for Greenwich on the far side. Almost all of them with the umbrellas in hand trying to fight off the rain. As for Darien, not the best attendance. Not many students in attendance, but quite, yet again, it is only 2 o'clock on a Friday. Wilkes just passed her stick. Thibault. There's actually Cementi. Simonetti, she'll lose it to Savino. Now Bach will get the touch. Blake Wilkes looking to send it over to Bach. Fighting off the defenders, Kate Bach is still with it. Keeping the progress with Darien. Quick restart by Stockdale. She'll send this one into the circle and just wide past the end line. Darien keeping the quick-paced offense, and Greenwich has not really been able to stop it yet this far. That one knocked away. Here's Hapgood. Ryan Hapgood into the circle. Simonetti, despite trying to clear it out, she'll eventually get it to number 11, Yabera. Actually number 10. And now here's Stockdale on the restart. Tripped up, Johns. She'll send it off the foot of Muffelman. And now the possession stays with Raina Johns and Darien. Stopped by the defensive likes of Babb. Benoit inside the attacking 25, looking to send it in the circle. Finds Wilkes. Wilkes, can she get that sweep shot? Turns around the shot, and just off the post. Jansen put the leg up, could not stop it, and the signature sweep shot of Blake Wilkes just misses wide off the post. It's the goalie's best friend, the aluminum. And just like that, Darien cannot add a second as the Cardinals will look to get some offense off it. Johns knocks it around at the D. The grip by Muffelman looking to grab it. Out to the outside. That time to Klingbeil. And Johns off the foot of a Greenwich defender. Possession staying with the Wave. There's Raina Johns on the restart. 2 minutes left in this opening quarter. Darien with the 1-0 advantage thanks to the goal from Casey Benoit. Dagavides. Trading it back. Darien slowing it down with that Benoit goal. That was Darien's 49th score in first quarters this season. By far the most productive quarter they have had on the stat sheet. But again, the big one is the goals against. They have only given up 4 goals all season, 3 of which coming in fourth quarters, and Greenwich has been the only team to score on Darien. Muffelman! That one's just wide. A powerful shot from Clara Muffelman. The soon-to-be Boston College Eagle for field hockey. And this Greenwich bench is fired up after that shot. Greenwich knows that it's only a 1-0 game, and they're not out of this. They're just one Muffelman shot or a shot from anybody out of this as John sends the aerial ball over to Stockdale. Stockdale transitioning it, looking to Bach, finds its way to Hapgood. Hapgood's got the one-on-one. And the good defense being played by Belager. Stockdale. Short pass to Benoit. Benoit in the circle, right back to Stockdale. The deflection in front of the net and just knocked past the end line. Jansen watches it out. Greenwich keeping it moving. Big strike out to the 30. Stockdale gets the interception. Greenwich trying to get something going on it. Not much time left in the quarter. Once again, stopped by Darien. And that will take us to the end of the first quarter. Darien with the 1-0 lead on the Greenwich Cardinals thanks to a Casey Benoit deflection. Darien controlling a majority of this possession. They'll look to continue that throughout this game. And as for Greenwich, they're going to look to get some offense. A lot of time left here in this state quarterfinal. You don't want to go anywhere because it's going to be an exciting one here on the DAF Media Network. We'll be right back. Back on the DAF Media Network, Casey Benoit with the aerial ball, and we're underway in the second quarter. Benoit had the goal back in the first quarter, giving Darien the 1-0 advantage. Braden Shank with you, and unfortunately just Braden Shank with you here on the call with DAF Media. Stockdale. That one knocked away by Hokeman. You're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Our production crew this afternoon, all student volunteers, as Bach will send this one. Knocked away, but our production crew, all student volunteers from Darien High School, doing a great job bringing you the sights and sounds in this one. Kate DeMarc, Sophie Davey, Jason Bellingham, Eric Bellingham, and our DAF Media Advisor, Damian Andrew, all working to bring you the sights and sounds in this one. Here on this rainy Friday in southwestern Connecticut. Not the best weather for field hockey, but they're playing through it. Reminds me a lot of the Darien-Richfield game that we broadcasted at Tiger Hollow. The pouring rain, eventually a thunderbolt is what put him into a rain delay, and Darien came out good as that one is tripped up. Let's see if they issue a card on it, and they're not going to, so they're going to say it was probably just tripped up by the slippery surface out there. As now another one, Muffleman falls to the ground. Referee's going to have some words with Darien. Casey Benoit trying to get an explanation on it, but now Darien will eventually get the ball right back. Here's Massey, the quick restart, over to Benoit. Hapgood, she'll bring it into the attacking 25, looking to get it down to Kate Bach. Greenwich bench still going strong. Here's Bach. Pass out to Stockdale. She misses on the shot. Rebound, and they're going to actually call it off of Stockdale's foot. Was looking for the one-timer. Stockdale couldn't finish it. Whistle keeping it with the wave. Again, Greenwich has not had much offense in this match. It's been all Darien on the possession times. This one off the deflection and out of play. We saw that same attempt work for Darien in the FCX semifinals where Raina Johns just sent the strong pass into the circle, got a last-second deflection from Darien. She'll try it again, as that time was looking for Wilkes, but past the end line. The last time Darien has given up a goal this season came to this Greenwich Cardinals team. And a meeting that was all the way back on October the 19th, the second to last regular season game. And again, that was a match that Greenwich got out to the 1-0 lead thanks to an early goal. They forced Darien's hand and head coach Mo Minikis to call her timeout within the first 5 minutes of the match, which with the new field hockey high school rules, you only get one timeout per match, and could be a little demoralizing when you have to use that within the first 5 minutes of a match. But head coach Mo Minikis did just that, and Darien surged back, winning the match 2-1, keeping the perfect season alive. That actually was the only time that they found themselves down in a match this season. Other than that, it's been pure dominance by the Wave, 126-4, their goal differential, which is truly remarkable for this Darien team. Wilkes past Babb. She'll take the shot. Deflected away by Greenwich. And the defensive likes of Thompson coming through. Restart by the Cardinals. That one going past Babb. She'll get the she'll regain it. Now it's to number 10, Klingbeil. And once again, as Greenwich thought they had something, the whistle turns it over past Wilkes and out of play. On the ground, Hokeman intercepted by Stockdale. Was looking for the foot, didn't get it. Johns gets the rebound. Now over to Benoit on the 20. Casey Benoit. They're going to call it off the Greenwich foot, and now just like that, Darien keeps with it. Stockdale. That's going to be a dangerous lift of the stick, and going against Donnellan. Darien football team coming out, checking out the field hockey score. The Wave picked up a big win against Brian McMahon last night, 42-21 against the Senators. They are 6-3 on the season. They'll take on New Canaan in the Turkey Bowl to wrap up their 2022 campaign. And then they'll be looking for a state playoff berth, something that the program has really had their eyes on since the beginning of the season, looking to repeat their state championship win from last season. Greenwich on the far wing. That one knocked away from Donnellan. Restart from the Cardinals. They're going to make a substitution in it, bring Latuda back on, the freshman, Julia Latuda. She was a call-up for this CIAC tournament, just a freshman, most notably known for her sister, Isabella Latuda, an all-FCIAC field hockey player for the Cardinals. She's now off at Amherst playing field hockey. I was going to make a comment, but I don't know their mascot at Amherst. Probably should know that. Getting word it's a mammoth. Weird mascot for a college team right there, but intercepted by Wilkes. Do got to give credit to Kate DeMark on the quick response on that one. Not sure how you know that on the top of your head, the mammoth, but nonetheless, it's still 1-0 Darien here at the DHS Stadium. Savino will grab possession of it. She'll be pressured by Thibault. That one's lifted up. Wilkes trying to gain possession out in the midfields. Here's Latuda. Savino now intercepted. Pass to Stockdale. Stockdale along the near side and overshooting Wilkes. Out of play. Here's Maddie Hokeman, the senior. Star lacrosse player for the Cardinals in the spring. Greenwich girls lacrosse, they'll be looking to get back to dominance here in the spring. The new the new FCIAC divisions and tiers in girls lacrosse and boys lacrosse. Going to be interesting how that season plays out. A lot of lacrosse players out there on the pitch today for some field hockey. Most of them coming back out in the spring. I believe Darien and Greenwich are in the same tier in the Division 1. So they're going to be meeting a lot in the regular season and be competing for an FCIAC title, which is something that has really been debated with the sports such as field hockey. We really have this grouping of 4 or 5 teams that are in a league of their own in the FCIAC. You have Darien, Wilton, New Canaan, Richfield, Staples, Greenwich as another one, and it really gets to the point where those 6 teams are competing in the FCIAC semifinals, the FCIAC championships every season. I mean, you look at the last 4 or 5 FCIAC semifinals, and it's the same 4 or 5 teams in them every season. And even at the state level, it's usually the same 4 or 5 teams in the state playoffs. And they finally made the change for girls lacrosse. It's going to be interesting what they do in the upcoming years with the field hockey, is they might change that to a division system. They also do it for boys ice hockey. And again, trying to clear out some of those matches in the regular season where you see the 10-0s, the 8-0s, the 7-0s, the 9-0s against teams where they might not be on the same level as teams like Darien and Greenwich. And I know one thing, talking with the Brian McMahon coaches yesterday, lacrosse coaches, they are excited to kind of have a new rebirth almost, competing with teams. This one's now sent just wide, looking for the touch, but it's past the end line. And talking with the Brian McMahon coaches yesterday, it's really interesting just how they view it as a rebirth in the spring, that they're going to be competing with teams almost on the same level as them, knowing that they're not going to have to go and get blown out in games and then play a team that's evenly ranked with them, but only playing teams that are evenly matched with them. So it really does work out in favor for those schools like that, and it creates a much more balanced conference. So it's going to be interesting how that whole new division realignment plays out for lacrosse in the spring, and to see what they do with field hockey here in the upcoming years. Casey Benoit on the 45. She'll knock it out of play. Possession staying with the Wave. Aerial ball from Benoit. Just past the stick of Babb. Now Blake Wilkes. Stockdale turning it the other way. Whistle keeping it with the Wave. Stockdale into the circle through some traffic. There's number 12 for the Cardinals, Bernie Thompson. Benoit. She's going to have to come back and try it again. Rain's still coming down here in Darien. Players fighting through it. Trip to the state semifinals in the line. The winner will meet the winner of Glastonbury and Hull. Those 2 teams playing up in Glastonbury today. And a Greenwich team that actually took down Hull in the regular season by the final score of 10-1. So you got to assume both of these teams are ready for the semifinal match, and then potentially a state championship where Wilton or actually, who else is left in this? Yeah, Wilton, Richfield, Southington, New Canaan would be potentially meeting them in the championship as a substitution for Darien. They're going to take Wilkes out and bring on the Haverford field hockey commit, Lindsey Turner. Turner wearing number 7 for Darien. But a good field of 8 teams left in this field hockey tournament. All 8 of the top seeds remaining, so no upsets in the tournament. The only upsets we have seen were in the qualifying rounds when Trumbull took down Newington and Newtown took down Stamford. Both of those teams fell in the first round. So the top 8 seeds all left as Turner falls to the ground, looking to keep the progress moving. So presumably if the top seeds win, you would have Darien and Glastonbury, and then Wilton and Southington left in this year's state tournament. But you got to watch out for the New Canaan Rams, the 6th seed. They're playing on the road at Southington today at 2 o'clock. There's a chance that head coach Megan Cunningham's Rams potentially could be picking up an upset and staying alive in the state tournament. Here's Greenwich with some life in them. There's Klingbeil. She's fighting through, and eventually Johns will trip her up, but possession staying with the Cardinals. And Muffleman, that one's up in the air. Blocker stopped by Darby. She makes her first save of the match. Good blocker save by Lindsay Darby. Possession staying with the Cardinals. They're going to like to keep the pressure on here with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Intercepted by Stockdale. That was the first shot on goal from the Cardinals all match. Both of their shots coming from Clara Muffelman. Here's Stockdale in the middle third. Now over to Stockdale. Stockdale looking to get it over to Bach, knocked away by a Greenwich defender. Bach staying with it. Off the foot in the circle, and she will get the penalty corner. Great heads-up play by Kate Bach, just hitting it off Hochman's foot and giving Darien their 5th penalty corner of the match. Greenwich bench still staying in this match. They know they need to play the defense here. They're only down 1-0. And again, that's just one shot from Muffelman. She can make a difference in this match. But they need the defensive likes of Jansen, Hochman, and Co. to keep fighting and keep Darien off the scoreboard. Here's Benoit to insert. 5th attempt for Darien on the match. Benoit up top to Stockdale. Stockdale immediately being pressured by a Greenwich defender, and the delayed penalty corner will eventually be awarded to the Wave. Darien's going to keep on trying these penalty corners, eventually looking for one to fall. Under 90 seconds left before the halftime break. Here's Benoit. Up top, stopped by Stockdale. Once again, past her stick. Savino's there for support. Now to Johns. Johns will turn around, dribble with it. She's in the circle. Looking to center it. And that one, Jetson diving, watching it out. An opportunity for the Wave. The ball slipping a little too much with the wet surface, and Jansen makes the diving attempt, knocking away the Darien look. Here's the Cardinals on the restart. The captain, Hochman. She'll give it some air up to Stockdale. Open to the empty space. Massey. Savino right back to Stockdale. Stockdale looking to get it to Bach. Here in the circle, Jansen coming out. It's going to be a battle. Jansen makes the stop. Dribbling with it is Hapgood. Punched away. She's going to try it again. Knocked away. The great defense by Belager. And Greenwich is going to be happy with that defensive effort. And no, they're actually going to award the penalty corner on it. Greenwich in disbelief. Again, they're going to play this through. So we're not yet at the halftime, but the Cardinals thought they knocked it away. I guess they're going to make a call on Belager. And again, all Greenwich needs to do is get the ball out of the circle. You can't really see it, but a gray line around the goal. That's all Greenwich has to do, clear that out. They get to halftime. Darien can get the offense going as long as they keep it in. Johns makes the stop. Over to Stockdale. Stockdale, the shot. Stopped by Jansen. The rebound still is loose. Greenwich, can they get it out? And another penalty corner awarded. So the half will extend another play. 8 corners for Darien in this match, and I believe they're 3rd or 4th in a row looking to keep with it. Here's Benoit. Time has expired. Again, Greenwich just needs to get the ball out of the circle to clear the half. Now over to Stockdale. The shot on the ground, deflected, and it's in! Kate Bach scores, and Darien goes up 2-0. A big goal for Darien. The bench is fired up, and that's how Darien will enter halftime up 2-0 against Greenwich. Kate Bach, the goal. Greenwich thought that they got out of the half in the clear. It was a good clear by Belager. The referee called it back, forced Greenwich to play the defense, and Kate Bach put Darien up. And just like that, the Wave continues to surge 2-0. They lead Greenwich heading into the halftime. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network and be right back.
The Darien Foundation was founded in 1998 by Richard and Maureen Chilton, and the thesis behind that founding was to bring technology to the Darien public school systems. And that launched us, and that got us going, and through technology and capital project initiatives, we've now funded over $5.5 million over the last 24 years to build a better Darien.
Our board really likes to get involved and assist the partners that we collaborate with, whether it's a grant for a youth project or a grant from a community service, schools, the police. Often they come to us with ideas that we help them bring to fruition.
The Darien Foundation recently awarded the Darien Police Department 2 grants. One was for laser shot and the other for Faro technology. Laser shot technology is based on decision making. It may come down to using their firearm, but in reality, we would like them to talk the situation down where you use less lethal force, and this program allows us to do that.
Police, drop the gun!
Faro technology gives us a 360-degree view, catching all the points we need to catch in our accident scene. It also takes a lot less time. This allows us to open up roads, get traffic flowing a lot quicker than we ever used to be able to. We can also map the inside of buildings. We can use it at outdoor crime scenes, indoor crime scenes. It's really used for a plethora of investigations. It's a tool that most other departments may not have their hands on just yet, and thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have that technology.
At Home in Darien is a nonprofit organization that helps senior citizens to remain living independently in their home and in the community. We provide important services to help them do so, such as transportation. Thanks to the Darien Foundation, we have this amazing new van, and we are so excited about it and what it'll do for the community.
From all standpoints, this is going to be a real improvement in the services we provide, both in terms of safety and comfort. The Darien Foundation is important to the community in the scope that they reach out to answer needs.
Post 53 is the town's ambulance service. We respond to over 1,600 emergency calls a year. We're a vital service that has been here for 51 years. The technology upgrades provided by the Darien Foundation has been a game changer for us. It's allowed us to improve our training. It has helped us hone our skills. You don't know how important an ambulance is until you actually need it. Thanks to our partnership with the Darien Foundation, who's provided all this technology and several grants throughout the years, we're able to continue to be prepared, to be well-trained and well-staffed, to respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, whenever you need it.
The Darien Foundation is really excited to be able to launch a new program for the Darien schools, which will benefit students K through 12 in all 7 schools. This is the new robotics program, which will be an extracurricular opportunity for students to build robots, compete against other leagues, and collaborate together.
Our robotics program is going to benefit students in so many ways. In regular classes, students are always looking for the right answer, that there's only one way to answer something. Robotics is completely different. In robotics, you learn that there are multiple solutions to every problem. You learn that you have these obstacles that you have to overcome. You have to really be a creative problem solver. And most importantly, you need to persevere.
Early on in the process, the Darien Foundation reached out to administration and they offered to provide funding for a project, and it just dovetailed beautifully to the goals of the strategic plan. I look forward to continue to work closely with the Darien Foundation, both on this project and other projects down the line.
We welcome ideas for possible grants. We'd like to do grants that promote and strengthen our community. Sometimes it's from an organization, sometimes it's from our emergency service partners, or it's from the Darien Public Schools. One of our most popular grants, which was the Playground by the Sound, came to us from 4 Darien moms who said, let's get together and figure out how to build this.
Thanks to the generosity of our board members and officers, every dollar you give to the Darien Foundation goes directly to the grants that we're supporting. I invite all of you to help us move our community further and support the Darien Foundation.
Back on the DAF Media Network, Darien with the 2-0 lead over the Greenwich Cardinals in the 2022 CIAC Class L quarterfinals. The winner has a date with either Glastonbury or Hall in the semifinals next Monday or Tuesday. That date is still to be determined, but it will be at a neutral site. So depending on who wins this match, and if it's Glastonbury or Hall, then we will see the neutral site on it. Last year it was Darien Wilton at Norwalk's Testa Field. Don't think it will be in the FCIAC, considering both Glastonbury and Hall are out of the FCIAC, so the chance might be upstate a little bit more, but we will just have to wait and see. For Darien, they have two teams still dancing in the state tournament, field hockey and girls volleyball. The girls volleyball team will go up against Greenwich tomorrow in the state quarterfinals, looking to take down Greenwich for the third time this season. Actually, the second time, rather. Actually, it would be the third time they took them down in the FCIAC tournament as well. So Darien volleyball, that game will be seen on the DAF Media Network at 1 o'clock as the referee will stop play. And she's going to send Muffelman off for 1 minute on the push. So Clara Muffelman sent off on the green card. And Darien will go player up for the next minutes. So Clara Muffelman, this team's big spark on the offense, is sent off for the next minute. The referee, this game's been chippy all match, and eventually the referee had enough and sends Muffelman off for the next minute. Here's Raina Johns on the restart. She'll send the aerial ball. Dump down. Eventually into the midfield, Savino finds it. Through ball. Greenwich looking to get some offense going here. Again, they're player down right now. That one sent into the circle by Klingbeil. And violation against the Cardinals, going right back in Darien's favor. Muffelman just counting down the seconds in the box. Here's Katie Savino. She'll send the strong ball out to the middle third past Stockdale. Greenwich looking to turn it the other way. On the ground, finds its way past Donnellan. Benoit. Over to Wilkes. Blake Wilkes to Kate Bach. Bach's looking to track it down. She will. Kate Bach still dribbling with it. And off the foot of Hoekman. Ball going to Darien on the 25. Raina Johns on the restart. Looking down to Benoit, and she will shoot that one to nobody. If you're just joining us, Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you this live coverage of the 2022 Connecticut State Girls Field Hockey Tournament. I guess just technically field hockey tournament. That one is knocked out of play. Possession staying with the Wave. Benoit on the restart. Casey Benoit sends the aerial ball. That one just past Stockdale. Stockdale spins around. She'll dribble with it. Delayed penalty corner. This one in front of the cage shot, and it's in! The one-timer finishing for Darien! A big goal for the Wave. Appears to be number 20, Katie Savino, finishing for Darien. Not 100% sure on that one. Savino in the air. Probably not Savino. Maybe Dagavides. It definitely ended in a 0. I'm going to guess Dagavides on it, number 10. Again, it's rainy out. We're far ways away. The 20 and the 10 looking very similar, so I think we're going to give it to Dagavides, number 10 for the Wave. But as I've learned over the past couple of weeks, my eyesight is not as good as it used to be. Restart for the Cardinals. They now find themselves down 3-0. Still some dispute on who scored that Darien goal. We'll get that information for you. Blake Wilkes. Apparently it actually was Ryan Hapgood on the goal, number 19. So it wasn't a 10, wasn't a 20, but rather a 19 that scores for Darien. Ryan Hapgood, the Dartmouth-bound lacrosse commit. Third time's a charm. Sweep shot on that one, and it's in! Greenwich finds themselves on the board. Kate Donnellan keeping Greenwich in it. Donnellan, the sophomore, wearing the number 7 jersey for Greenwich, puts goal number 1 up for the Cardinals. And the first time Darien has given up a goal in the third quarter this season. What a goal on that one. Greenwich looking to keep some life in them. Only the 5th goal scored against Darien this season. And they're going to bring a substitute, Latuda, back out. A big goal from the Cardinals. And number 7, Kate Donnellan. So the teams exchange a goal on it, and we're right back down to a 2-goal deficit as we were at halftime. So maybe some fatigue getting to Darien out there, the cold, rainy day. Stockdale, she'll be just outside the attacking 25. Retreating it back to Savino. Now to Massey. There's Klingbeil. Babb. Stopped up by Stockdale. Stockdale looking to get it to Benoit. Instead, will find its way to the stick of number 10, Klingbeil. Balaguer, she'll turn it away to Stockdale. Into the circle, looking to get it. Missing on it. Still trying to clear it out. Wilkes gets it. Blake Wilkes turns around, shoots this one just wide off the stick of Hapgood, who was looking to get the deflection. A strong shot from Blake Wilkes, the Cornell-bound field hockey player, just a junior for Darien, but she'll be off to play field hockey for the Big Red in a couple seasons. Still's got one more with head coach Mo Minikis in the Wave, looking to potentially continue this team's magic, as they have not lost since last year's state semifinal against Wilton. Since then, a staggering 20-0 on the season. And they're looking to make it 21 here today, but they still got to go. Another third and fourth quarters. Bach into the circle. That one's cleared out by the defensive likes of Simonetti. Casey Benoit now. Benoit looking to send it in the circle. This one trying to be chipped out by Muffelman. So probably should have picked up on a couple minutes ago, but Muffelman is out of the box. Both teams back to even strength now. Pretty sure when Greenwich scored that goal, they were back to even strength. Benoit now shoots this one all the way down to Wilkes. Blake Wilkes dribbling along the end line. She'll fight past one defender, eventually lose it by a sea of Greenwich defenders. Bach. Penalty corner awarded to Darien. Make it number 9 for Darien in this match on the penalty corner. Compare that to Greenwich's 0 penalty corners. It just goes to show the difference in offense in this match. Greenwich had that one look from Donnellan, and she converted on it. And as for Darien, 9 penalty corners, 3 goals on the scoreboard. 3-1 Darien leads. Benoit on the insert. Up top to Johns. Raina Johns off to Stockdale. Collision on that. Stockdale still fighting through. Hapgood's going to try her luck. Greenwich desperately trying to clear it out. Another penalty corner awarded. If you're Darien, the heads-up play on it continues. Just getting it in the circle, forcing the foul and violation on Greenwich. And picking up penalty corner number 10 on the match. Here's Casey Benoit. Benoit on the insert, up top to Johns. Raina Johns now off to Wilkes. Right back to Johns. Johns the shot, deflected up high. And that one's coming back to the 25. Darien's looking to get some air on that ball. And they'll get the restart now with 6:30 left in this third quarter. Johns, short pass to Stockdale. Stockdale's now going to strike this one into the circle. Here to Savino. That one now knocked away by Johns. Wilkes. To Bach. Johns just outside the circle, looking to dribble her way in. Thought about the shot. She'll retreat it out and get another penalty corner for Darien. Darien will keep on marching here on the offense. Going to strategize here. As for Greenwich, they need to get the offense their goalkeeper, Kelly Jansen, getting an explanation from the umpire. Cardinals have not been exactly happy with the calls all match. It started at the end of the second half where Balaguer thought she cleared the ball out. The referee called it back, gave Darien 2 penalty corners on it, and they converted on the second, scoring before the half. And now right here, Benoit inserts to Stockdale. Stockdale dribbling with it, short pass to Johns. Raina Johns the shot, just wide, can't get the final touch. Good attempt by Raina Johns, and was looking for the finishing touch. And unable to do so as now the Cardinals go back on the offense. There's Hokeman. Raina Johns going to dribble with it a ways. Out to Savino. And here's now Stockdale. Looking for Bach. Out into the circle. Latuda can't keep it in. Ball going to Darien. Again, you're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation, bringing you this live coverage of the 2022 Connecticut State Field Hockey Tournament for Class L. Darien and Greenwich, the 1-seeded Darien, the 8th-seeded Greenwich. Winner has a date with Glastonbury or Hull on Monday or Tuesday in the state semifinals. That game will be at our neutral site. So depending on if it's Glastonbury or Hall will depend on where they play that match. Either a West Hartford team or a Glastonbury team in it. Either the Guardians or the Titans. Still feels weird calling them the Guardians and the Titans, formerly the Tomahawks and the Warriors, both of them changing within the past 2 or 3 years. Now on Monday, Darien boys soccer took on Conard, another school that changed from the Chieftains to the Red Wolves. But now here's Casey Benoit. Blue Wave still unchanged. Benoit, the aerial ball. Finds its way all the way down to Stockdale. Stockdale maneuvering away past one defender. Will get tripped up by a second. Penalty corner awarded. Help comes over from Balaguer, and she'll be called on the violation. 12 penalty corners for Darien on the match. Jansen's had to make 4 saves. Has not made one since the half. And the Greenwich bench is still looking to keep their team in it. Again, the winner has a date in the state semifinals. The loser, their season comes to an end. The hard-fought season, the practices since the school began in September. And one of these teams will have to say goodbye. The other one gets to keep on marching for a state championship. Here's Stockdale. Stockdale, she shoots, and it's just wide of the net. That one's going all the way out past the track. A strong shot from Stockdale. Reminds me a lot of a shot that was taken by Wilkes in the FCIAC semifinals, where Blake Wilkes hit it so hard it went past the track, almost to the woods past the track, and a hard shot from her. Did not go in the net, of course, but Still a strong shot from Wilkes, and that time from Stockdale. Knocked up into the air. Again, for Darien, if they win this match, they would advance to their 6th consecutive state semifinals. They have been to 14 of the last 15 state semifinals, dating back to 2006. There's only been 1 year that they have missed the state semifinals, and that was when they were knocked out in the state quarterfinals. So the Blue Wave definitely accustomed to playing in these late season games, and they'll be potentially looking to find themselves at Weathersfield next weekend in the state championship. Raina Johns. This one now getting up high on the Greenwich player, a little too high to the referee's likings, and it's going the other way with a minute left before the quarter break. Muffelman's going to try to grab it. Benoit instead will touch it. Darien looking for the call. They don't get it. That one's grabbing the wrong part of Arroyo. It's actually number 10, Klingbeil. She's a little banged up on it. Now the aerial ball retreating Savino back a ways. Katie Savino back to Massey. Nice stick maneuvering by Greenwich. Now off. Oh, collision there. Referee's going to let play continue. Greenwich trying to get the call on it, and it's just outside the circle, so Muffelman will start it up with 9 seconds left. Muffelman misses on that, hits the stick. Greenwich is going to try again and send this one just wide. The Cardinals were pushing for a potential penalty stroke on it, but you have to be in the circle, which is the explanation given by the referee. And just like that, Darien will now advance to the final 15 minutes, up 3-1 on Greenwich with a trip to the state semifinals on the line. We're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network and be right back. We're back on the DAF Media Network. 15 minutes back up on the scoreboard. The final 15 minutes in this one between Darien and Greenwich. The Cardinals came out of their huddle fired up. They're chasing 2 goals to try to keep their season alive, but they've got to get the offense going first, and Darien stays on the possession. Braden Shank with you, and solely Braden Shank with you here on this Friday afternoon from Darien High School. Fortunately, I was told we couldn't get the likes of Kari Johns or Clara Ambrose to come on the broadcast, so I guess I'm your best insight for field hockey here on this Friday afternoon. Hopefully I haven't embarrassed myself too much up to this point. Here's Casey Benoit on it. That one's out of play. Ball staying with the Cardinals. Again, as for Greenwich, they've the 13-3-0-1 record in the regular season. For those of you confused by the 4 numbers, I don't blame you. The field hockey system wins, losses, ties, and then overtime losses. So Greenwich, the 13 wins, the 3 losses, 0 ties, and the 1 overtime loss to Richfield. Little confusing, but they do still get points for losing in overtime. As Darien stays on the offense, here's Massey. Greenwich now looking to keep with it, fighting through, and that's Raina Johns comes away with it. Now shoots it out to Bach, Kate Bach in the middle third. Pass over to Wilkes. Blake Wilkes dribbling with it. She's still up and eventually tripped up. Not before the penalty corner is awarded. 13 penalty corners for Darien on the match. That's remarkable. Then you compare it to Greenwich count 0 penalty corners for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals making a substitution. Klingbeil's going to come out. In her place will be Arroyo. Emilia Arroyo, the freshman. She was the solo freshman on the regular season roster for Greenwich. They did call some up for this CIAC tournament. Inserts it up top. Stopped by Stockdale. She's going to dribble with it, being pushing off the defender. Stockdale shoots just wide into the soccer net. Good job pushing off Donnellan, the defender. And that one will be knocked out of play. Again, you're watching the DAF Media Network, a joint venture of the Darien Athletic Foundation and the Darien Foundation. Our production crew this afternoon, all student volunteers of Darien High School, want to thank them for coming out on this rainy Friday. Kate DeMarc, Sophie Davey, Eric Bellingham, Jason Bellingham, and our DAF Media Advisor, Damian Andrew. And if you're a fan of these CIAC playoff matches, tomorrow at 1 o'clock, the Darien girls volleyball team will take on Greenwich in the state quarterfinals. That match will be seen on the DAF Media Network, so if you got yourself some time on a Saturday, tune in and support the girls volleyball team. And then next week, volleyball and field hockey will look to continue their state playoff runs. They'll be playing in the state semifinals Monday or Tuesday, looking to advance to Saturday's championship Saturday for field hockey. That will take place in Wethersfield, upstate at the Wethersfield High School Turf Complex. That one's up high. Muffelman, can she get something? Clara Muffelman being double-teamed, fighting through, and eventually overpowered, giving Greenwich the penalty corner. This is going to be interesting because we have not seen a Cardinal penalty corner all match. So Greenwich is going to need to adjust to it, get the penalty corner offense going. And if they can score, they would knock it right back to a one-shot lead or one-shot deficit. They're going to huddle up. They know their season is on the line right here. Here's number 25 to insert. Kamenetti. Up top, stopped by Muffelman, off to the side. Shot, that one stopped by Darby. The rebound, Darby makes another stop, and eventually it will be cleared out. Lindsay Darby making 2 big stops on the penalty corner. Ball staying with Greenwich on the offense. Rain now really starting to come down. There was a chance of some scattered thunderstorms in the forecast. Another penalty corner awarded to the Cardinals. Again, the big difference between the high school and the collegiate game of field hockey. Right here, the clock would be stopped in NCAA. But for high school, they keep on ticking it. Only time it stops is when the referee signals and after a goal. This one's up top. Muffelman, she'll take the shot, rifle it, and knocked away by the defender. The ball is still loose, and Greenwich will finish it. The Cardinals aren't done yet. The defenders in disbelief on it. Darby thought that she made the stop. The ball was loose, and Greenwich knocked it home, did not get a number on it. And Greenwich gets their second. They're fired up still in this match. Darby's going to huddle up the Darien team. Some miscommunication on it. She came out, made one stop. The defender made another. But then the ball was wide open with an open cage for a diving Greenwich defender to score on it. 3-2 our score. Greenwich is firing back. They have scored the last 2 goals in the match. And head coach Megan Wax has some fight in her Cardinals. Ball keeping it with the Wave. For Darien, you just got to go the next 9.5 minutes without giving up a goal, but it just shows you how big of a difference that call was at the end of the half, giving Darien the penalty corner, allowing them to score on it from Kate Bach. As that one's off Benoit's stick, ball going to the Cardinals. Greenwich looking to keep the offense going, keep them rolling. Short pass, overshooting Donnellan. So the team's exchanging the errors on it, and you can tell a lot of fatigue, a lot of slipperiness out there, and that ball was moving on the turf. Another error on Darien, giving it right back to the Cardinals. Again, Greenwich has only seen 2 penalty corners on it, so we haven't really seen their penalty corner offense, but they did convert on the second one, a big goal from Greenwich. This one now looking to center it, just skipping past the stick of Ryan Hapgood and past the end line. Referee is going to call it off the touch of a Greenwich player, giving it to Darien. The Greenwich sideline in disbelief, but Darien will stay on the offense. Looked like it hit off of Hapgood's stick, but the referee said otherwise. Benoit now. That one is just wide. Jansen watched it out, saw the no deflection, and Greenwich will now look to get something going. They have 8 minutes on the clock. Big strike out in the midfield, intercepted by Stockdale. Short pass to Wilkes, so that's to Hapgood. Whistle keeping it with the Wave. Darien on the restart. And the violation against the Wave. Ball going to Greenwich. The Greenwich sideline is still going strong. And the Cardinals now chasing just 1 goal. We've been saying all match, this is just the striking distance they need. As they're going to clear this one out, but they got to get the offense first. They can't be staying in this limbo down by 1 and playing the defense. Momentum staying with the Cardinals after the whistle. Ball coming back out to the 45. Restart from Greenwich. Was looking for Arroyo, intercepted by Benoit. Now Bach. Short pass, and this one will be through some traffic. And the referee's keeping it with the Wave. 6.5 minutes to play. Timeout will be taken by head coach Mo Minikis and the Darien Blue Wave. They'll take their 1 timeout. But the Greenwich Cardinals have surged as of late, scoring the last 2 goals, have cut it down to a 3-2 deficit. And we're now going to step aside with the Darien timeout and be right back on the DAF Media Network. This Greenwich Cardinals team fired up coming out of the huddle after the Darien timeout. Greenwich trailing by just 1 with 6 minutes and 21 seconds left to play. A trip to the state semifinals on the line against either Glastonbury or Hull. Benoit with the aerial ball. This one will be knocked down by Greenwich and Thompson. Trying to maneuver her way out of it. Wilkes keeps the pressure on. Now Stockdale. Ball awarded to Darien. They're going to upgrade the push call to a penalty corner and keep Darien in this match. If the Wave can get a goal right here, they can silence this Greenwich team, kill some of that momentum. So a stop by the Cardinals will go a long way right here in keeping them in this match. And as for Darien, take as much time as possible. 5:40 now left. If Darien can just hold on. They were leading 3-1 at one point in this match, up 2-0 at halftime. Inserts it up to Wilkes. Blake Wilkes off to Johns. Johns the shot, and it's off the post. Raina Johns rifled the shot and once again stopped by the aluminum. What a shot from Raina. And now Greenwich is looking to flip the field. On the ground, bouncing its way over to Massey. Morgan Massey retreating it back to Dagavides. Dagavides can keep it in. Off the foot of the Greenwich attack, or the Greenwich defense of Arroyo. And there is a player down on the Darien side. That's Ryan Hapgood. Not what you like to see. And they're going to come over and attain to her. We're going to step aside on the DAF. It's actually Stockdale, my apologies, 13. But we're going to step aside on the DAF Media Network and be right back. Back on the DAF Media Network, Stockdale comes out. Katie Walsh comes in her place, number 24 for 13. Darien staying on the offense. Bach in front of the cage. That one cleared out to the middle third, and the referee is going to give it to the Cardinals. Braden Shank with you. So glad you can be with us on the DAF Media Network on this Friday afternoon from Darien, Connecticut. The Blue Wave and the Cardinals going to battle in this state quarterfinal matchup, the 1 seed and the 8 seed. The winner having a date with Glastonbury or Hull in the state semifinals. Benoit now down to Bach. Kate Bach looking to center the pass, the finishing peach, and it's going to roll in! Darien scores! It goes up 4-2! That ball just trickled past the goal line as Jansen watches it. And Darien gets the big goal on that one. Stockdale out, doesn't stop the attack. And number 10 for Darien, scoring on it, Dagavides. Dagavides picking up a big goal. Stockdale is ready on the sideline, and she will check back in as Darien now controls a 2-goal lead. A big goal from Dagavides on that one. And Greenwich, they had some life in them. We knew that down by 1, they had to go. They had to spark the offense, and they were unable to do so. Forced to play most of the defense, and that gave Darien the opportunity to eventually take the shots and find the back of the net with Dagavides. So the Greenwich Cardinals have had some opportunities, and now they find themselves needing 2 goals with just 3:45 left to play. Here's Arroyo on the restart. Arroyo down to Muffelman. Clara Muffelman. 4 Darien defenders on her. That one knocked out by Dagavides. If you're Darien, that's exactly what you're looking to do. Just hit it out, keep the clock ticking, because in 3 minutes and 20 seconds, you would find yourself in a state semifinal, assuming you can keep that ticking. And Greenwich needs some goals, and they need them now. Here's Stockdale. Stockdale fighting past the defensive likes of Greenwich and Donnellan. All staying with the Wave, so this is Greenwich's worst nightmare right here, trailing by 2 and being forced to stay on the defense. And again, for Darien, they're looking to get back to the state semifinals where they were eliminated last season by the Wilton Warriors. The 11th seeded Warriors went all the way to the state championship, fell to New Canaan, but just a magical run by Wilton, and they found themselves now as the 2 seed in this year's tournament. Potentially will be meeting Darien in a state championship at Wethersfield next Saturday, the 19th. Which another Saturday, if a nice sky or two, you might want to take the trip up to Wethersfield and catch the field hockey championship. All 3 classes playing on that date, and really all the championships except for football being played on Saturday. Boys soccer, girls soccer, volleyball, field hockey. Now here's intercepted. Greenwich trying to get something off their assistant coach. Possession staying with Darien. They're gonna bring it up a couple yards on it. Casey Benoit. This one knocked down. Possession staying with the Wave, despite the efforts from Thompson. A hard-fought season from the Greenwich Cardinals. They definitely improved, especially with a team that lost so much talent last year with all FCIACers and all staters on their roster last year. They lost 12 Greenwich Cardinals last season, including Issa Latude and Zeta Cohen, who are now off at Amherst and Brown playing field hockey. So a team that was forced to regroup, and especially on the underclassmen side, only 6 seniors but 10 juniors returning next year for head coach Megan Wax and the Cardinals. So this Greenwich team is presumably only getting better next year, and they are going to lose Muffelman, but they return their goalkeeper and Jansen, looking to have another good season for Greenwich, trying to propel them past this hump in the state quarterfinals and look to get them into the state semifinals. As if Greenwich loses this match, this would be the 3rd year in a row that they would be eliminated in the state quarterfinals, excluding the COVID year, of course. So again, 2016 was the last time that Greenwich was successfully able to make it to the semifinals. 2017 was the first year. And they've been eliminated in the last 3 state tournaments in the quarterfinals. 2018 eliminated in the state first round. So Greenwich has come so close all these years and just it wasn't their day today, as now Darien Casey Benoit falls to the ground on the ball back out in the midfields. Dagavides. Ball keeps on moving, and Darien is just counting down the seconds now. And just like that, the Darien Blue Wave will advance to their 6th consecutive state semifinal. They take down Greenwich by the final score of 4-2. Once again, the Cardinals give Darien their biggest match of the season, but the Blue Wave prevails. And Greenwich coming over, they're going to huddle up. It was such a storybook season for the Greenwich Cardinals. 13 wins, eliminated in the FCIAC tournament. The state tournament was looking to make a run, and the 8th seed falls to the 1st seed, and the Greenwich Cardinals season comes to an end. And a good effort from Greenwich here today. They went down early, but they fought through. They got it back to a one-score lead at 3-2. Just couldn't quite keep the offense with them, and Darien comes out. And as I was saying, this is a Greenwich team with 10 juniors. They're only going to come back stronger next season. They're going to return Jansen in net. They're going to return a lot of their offensive weapons. Babs coming back. Donnellan, the sophomore. The freshman Latuda's coming back. Semeni, the junior. So a Greenwich team that, if they make a run next year, I would not be shocked if Megan Wax brings the winning culture back to Cardinal Stadium and Greenwich. Once again, your final score, Darien 4, Greenwich 2 on this Friday afternoon. The Blue Wave advances to Monday or Tuesday state semifinal, where they will take on the Glastonbury Guardians or the Hull Titans. That match may or may not be seen on the DAF Media Network. Depends on who they play, where that neutral site would be. But the Darien Blue Wave keeps on dancing and is now just 2 wins away from a state championship, which would be their 11th in program history. I'm going to give one final shout-out to our DAF Media production crew, doing a great job bringing you all the sights and sounds in this one. Kate DeMark, Sophie Davey, Eric Bellingham, Jason Bellingham, and our DAF Media advisor, Damian Andrew. I want to thank Pac Tagastino, again, our head of security at Darien, for all of his hospitality today. But for our entire production crew, nobody joined alongside me. I've been Braden Shank saying so long from Darien High School. The Blue Wave keeps on dancing. They advance to the state semifinals. Saying so long, I've been Braden Shank. I think I already said that. It's got to do it twice because there's no one else. Here's my color commentator. But nonetheless, Darien 4-2. We'll see you next time on the DAF Media Network.